Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Welcome to my channel, which is about the religion of Islam from a convert's perspective. I grew up as a Christian. I left Christianity in my teenage years and I became an atheist. I denounced God. I stopped believing in God altogether until around the age of 18, 19. I found out about the religion of Islam and I converted to Islam. So I've now been Muslim for 13 years. So in that 13 years, I've had a lot of ups and downs. And in this video, I'm going to be reacting to someone who's been Muslim for about 4 months. And he's basically just giving his thoughts and his reflections over that 4 months since he's become a Muslim. So being a convert myself, I'm very interested in this and I look forward to hearing what he has to say. Let's see how his journey has been so far.
Okay, so right now it's been around 4 months and 2 weeks since I reverted to Islam. Now I reverted to Islam back on January 4th, 2023. So every single quarter, which is 4 months, I want to make a update on my journey and what I've been doing through that process. Now, firstly, I want to start off with the support I've got on this channel. Alhamdulillah, it is great. It is insane. Like, mashallah, there is so much that I have got from you supporters that have just benefited me so much. First of all, I want to start with when I very first started the YouTube. Before I even posted a video, I said this in my revert story, I was listening to a nasheed when I was sleeping. I commented on this YouTube video and asked for help and asked for guidance, just for some advice on Islam and just some thoughts that I wanted to put out there. That comment, I checked it a couple days ago, that one comment got 1.4 thousand likes and about 500 to 800 replies. Everyone sending me paragraphs of saying, hey, let me help you, let me message you, I will help you, I will teach you for free, nothing, giving me advice, giving me everything. That was the first step into the brotherhood. That was the first step into realizing that you guys were supporting me no matter what, because we all have a duty to Allah.
That's really nice to hear. MashaAllah, I also like how he's got these Arabic subtitles. That's pretty cool. I'll say 2 comments that I have over my time of being a Muslim is that over the last few years, a lot of people are converting to Islam and they get a lot of attention and a lot of support. And there's a great enthusiasm from the Muslim community to support these people. On the one hand, it's positive because these young people are being inspired to continue and hold on to their faith. And there are genuine people out there who are really willing to give their time and their knowledge to help these new Muslims. So what I would say though is if you are a recent convert or you're looking to convert to Islam, be very careful of who you speak to in terms of taking advice. The reason why is because everybody wants to give you advice. As soon as you convert to Islam, everybody wants to give you all of their advice, and sometimes it can be damaging to you. And people don't always realize that, listen, you've just become Muslim a couple of months ago, and essentially what they want to do is they've been a Muslim for 30 years or they've been Muslim their whole life. They want to take all that knowledge and experience and try to give it to you in like 3 minutes. You need to do this, you need to do this, stay away from this is haram, this is halal, make sure you do this. And that can be really overwhelming for new Muslims. It can make them go the opposite way. At the same time, I would be sincerely cautious about who you take knowledge from, especially if it's from YouTube comments. Anyone and everyone is looking to give advice and their heart may be in the right place, but that doesn't mean that their advice is good. Sometimes if you follow their advice, it could actually be harmful to you. And one more thing when it comes to this topic, I would advise the Muslim people sincerely, if you are able to help, you can reach out and help. But at the same time, be wary of overhyping these new Muslims. Because when you overhype these new Muslims, many times they become put in the place of a person of knowledge. This person, for example, has only been Muslim for a couple of weeks, couple of months, and people are asking them for Islamic rulings. What should I do about this? What should I do about that? I remember watching a video of a well-known convert. I won't mention their name, but people were asking them, for example, what do you think about Christmas? And as we all know, Christmas is a pagan holiday, right? But this convert person, not only are they being asked what is the ruling, but they actually came and gave their opinion and said that they don't think it's a problem to celebrate Christmas. So this whole thing becomes very messy, right? My advice to you is if you are a new Muslim YouTuber, to take things slowly, find a good teacher and stick with that teacher and start seeking knowledge. And you need someone who has wisdom, who can guide you step by step. The way of seeking knowledge is not just by going on YouTube and just looking at whatever recommendations come up to you. You like this one, you like this one, you pick and choose. I'd personally say that you should avoid that. Anyway, let's get back into the video.
And we're all on the same path. So I want to thank you, if you guys watch this video who commented, but I want to thank all of you for that. And the second is the amount of people who have been able to collaborate with me and it given me the opportunity to go on their platforms. So I want to give a shout out to the Muslim Convert Stories channel. Second one is Lord Bear for coming on my podcast. And a big one is the Tortoise King or John. Now, those are all the channels, their photos up them. And just thank you guys so much for that. Now, I've been able to network with you guys and just build a community and just build a brotherhood between us because we're on a similar goal, on a similar path. It's very beneficial to see that. So I thank Allah every day for giving me these people. And I also thank Allah for you guys watching this video. Now, specifically shout out to all you guys watching this videos because 4 months ago we were at not even 1 subscriber. My first 10 subscribers was 7 of my other channels that I just made to get my first 10, and then three random of my friends followed me too or subscribed to me. But then once I started making that video about my revert to Islam, it got 175,000 views. That changed everything because you guys came into my channel and swarmed me with support. Not a single bad comment I ever read. It was all supporting you. The only bad comments were Islamophobics or whatever you call them. But do we listen to them? No, because it's not the truth. Most of them are atheists. So the amount of support you guys given me is insane.
Despite what I've said, I think that people sincerely reaching out and offering to help and teach new Muslims is a brilliant thing. When I became Muslim, I went to the mosque for 5 months and hardly anyone spoke to me. I didn't even know about the prayer until 5 months later. One brother, may Allah bless him, I came in contact with him and he taught me about these things: how to pray, how to make ablution, how to follow the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I don't think that any convert should ever go 5 months or a year or 2 years without anybody helping them. So it's really good to hear that people do reach out and offer to help these people.
I can't thank you enough for 10K. And I know we will hit 100K, we will hit 1 million. Inshallah, it will happen. So I want to start off this video by talking about what I've been doing and really focusing on, which has not been a lot, but just the very, very basics. So it's just been learning the 5 prayers. Now, what I do is I have a YouTube video where it says the prayers in Arabic. It says the melody while I'm praying, and then below it, it has the English text. So I can learn it in my head while I'm doing the prayer itself. And there's also videos that teach you how to do all this and just the right ways to do everything, because I did a lot of stuff wrong. But I have almost nearly memorized every single word in the prayers except for the final part where you're sitting and your hands are on your knees. The very, very last part of that is a bit hard, but I'm still getting it. I'm getting close to it.
Yeah, I remember that. It was so hard when I converted to Islam to do tashahhud. I did it wrong for ages. My sincerest advice, although people might not want to hear it, is forget about the transliteration. The transliteration is when you don't know how to read Arabic, but they take the Arabic words and they write them with English letters. So this is at best a temporary step. Do not rely on the transliteration. I promise you, if you stay on the transliteration and you try to pray using the transliteration for years and years and years, you'll be making mistakes in the way you say your prayer for ages until you learn to read the Arabic language. Do whatever you need to do to just get yourself praying, like this brother's doing very good, mashallah. May Allah increase him in beneficial knowledge. Please go to your local masjid, find a good teacher and learn to read. It will only take you a couple of months if you're consistent. It's really not that difficult. It seems overwhelming, it seems impossible, but I promise you that you are able to do it. You just need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you that knowledge, and you need to take action and do it. You will not regret learning how to read the Quran. But if you let 5, 10, 15, 20 years go by and you still can't read the Quran, you will regret that. And one last thing, I have got the prayer broken down word by word, as well as a guide on how to do the prayer in a playlist called Beginner's Guide to Islam. So if you don't know how to pray, go ahead and watch that. It will teach you everything you need to know, inshallah.
And then the second part is just reading the Quran. Now, I got the book, it finally came in the mail, but I was also reading it on this app right here called Holy Quran. Now it's an app where all you do is just press a button, and it's an audio book that it sings the melody of the Quran. And then it also has the English after. So it goes Arabic language first, and then English.
One quick comment, I don't really think that we consider that we actually sing the Quran, more that we recite with a melody. I don't know if you could say there's a distinct difference between that, but I've never actually heard an imam or a leader or a qari actually say, I'm going to sing the Quran today.
So I can understand it, and also realize the melody. Now, with the book, it's better because you just look at the words and it's right there. I know that sounds pretty weird, but it is funny because it's actually so hard when you're reading Quran and you don't really understand it, but it's just so great to have the book with you. I want to share something with the book. So I remember I was praying Maghrib prayer, or maybe it was a sir. I think it was a sir. And I was sitting there, like I had some like disbeliefs, like I was just like contemplating, like, I feel like a lot of people, I don't know if it's with you guys, but for me, I had a disbelief and I was like, because I watched these videos about like these atheists and stuff, and they were giving some solid points, but I asked Allah, when I was making a dua, I said, you gotta please just show me some proof like that I can deepen my faith, And I remember I had this like, when I turned to do the final prayer like this, when you go like this and you go like this, whatever that's called, I don't know, but I was looking this way after I said that dua. Or, no, sorry, I did the dua before the prayer. I know that was probably wrong, but when I was finalizing the prayer and I went like this.
Just a quick point, I don't know if the camera somehow inverted itself, but it looks right now that he's looking to his left first and then his right. However, when we end the prayer, we say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, meaning we look to the right first and then the left. Something I wanted to pick up on before we continue is that he was saying that he's getting some doubts because he's watching some atheists maybe make some strong points. If you are a new convert, stay away from all of these debates. These speaker corner debates, these debates online where Muslims are debating atheists and Christians. I personally think that if you've got that conviction and you've taken your shahada and you are now a Muslim, focus on seeking knowledge in the religion. Start learning how to read the Quran, start learning the basics of your religion, and stay away as much as you can from these type of debate videos that bring loads of doubts and put them in your mind and make you think about them all the time. Yeah, you can make the dua before you finish your prayer. You don't have to make dua after you finish your prayer, especially when you're prostrating, for example, and you have your head on the ground. This is a fantastic time to make dua and supplicate and ask God for the things that you need. So you don't have to wait till the prayer is concluded to actually supplicate.
I saw the Quran book right there, and it had a certain page that was kind of crumbled, and I don't remember saving that page. When I opened up the page, it was a page about being a believer because you're promised paradise in the afterlife, and then the disbelievers, they go to the torment of the fire. So Allah literally spoke to me and said, He gave me this message because I was disbelieving, and I asked for guidance, and He gave me the message, and He opened up the book, and I told my Muslim friend who helped me take the Shahada with it, and he said, this is how beautiful the religion is. So
I've heard a lot of stories of people, for example, just opening up the Quran, obviously the translation, and just looking at it at a random place, and they start reading, and it has a specific message for them and their specific circumstance, which is really interesting. Although I think if you're having doubts about the religion, for example, you heard an atheist or a Christian say something and you're like, I wonder if this is true, maybe they're right. I don't necessarily think that you're disbelieving in that moment, you're just having doubts. And you need to be reassured about what the truth is, right? And I think that this happens to all of us, including people who were born Muslim. And this is the shaitan trying to find a weakness in you, trying to take you away from the truth.
That was a good point. And I don't know, that was just great for me because I actually got to speak to Allah and He helped me. But other than that, what I've been doing is seriously just reading the Quran and memorizing the prayers. And now I want to talk about Ramadan. So this is going to be the final part of it. 'Cause really haven't done much in 4 months. A whole month was Ramadan, and the rest just doing the basics. It's the very beginning to the first 4 months. So Ramadan was a great experience. Made a whole video of it right here. And you can watch my revert story right here. But it was just insane. First of all, the fasting was an insane journey, and I'll tell you why. Because not only was I just fasting for the purpose of it, but it's fasting to improve your faith in Allah and just Islam. So instead of just thinking about food the whole time, I was thinking about why I'm doing it and the deeper purpose for it, and also when you're doing the prayers.
I do remember struggling in the beginning, and I think the first few times you do it, you do really think a lot about the food and the drink. The more you start to learn, the more you start to seek knowledge, the more you start understanding your religion, you get used to the hunger. And my personal advice would be that when Ramadan comes, you want to get yourself to the stage where you can read the Quran fluent. And ideally, you want to study the Arabic language so that you're able to understand what you're reading. And if you are able to achieve this, inshallah, then you're able to focus a lot of your time on worship itself. And if you can focus on the worship during the month of Ramadan and really striving to work as hard as you possibly can, then the hunger and the thirst kind of takes a backseat. But I definitely agree, in the first couple of years, the main thing you think about is how hungry you are and how thirsty you are. Another piece of advice that I would give is try to take as much time off of work as you can during the month of Ramadan so that you're able to make the most out of it. With that being said, if you know any Muslim converts, please in the month of Ramadan invite them to your house so that they can have that time breaking their fast with you and sharing that experience, because a lot of converts have to break their fast on their own, and most of us have no idea how lonely that can really be.
So it was really good to have that experience, and I felt extremely focused during that month. Like when you take food off the table and you don't have that opportunity to eat when you want to, you start to think and you start to focus on things that really matter. So for me, it was work and the prayers and everything. So I was extremely focused the whole time, and it just deepened my faith. So I could read the Quran every single morning. I could just focus up on my work, and it just felt pure. It just felt amazing when I break that fast as well. So alhamdulillah for that. That was a great experience, Ramadan was. So that being said, I'm gonna end off the video here. Once again, there's not much I can tell you guys because I don't know much about this religion because I'm only a beginner. I do want to say one thing. I want to go to a mosque that is around 30 to 40 minutes away from my house, the closest one, and take the Shahada and film it for you guys if I'm able to. So thank you all for the support. May Allah bless us all.
SubhanAllah, what a nice video. May Allah grant this brother patience and understanding and perseverance and make it easy for him. And I hope that everyone who watches his video and watches this video makes sincere dua for Allah to keep him strong and also guide him to the straight path and guide his family along with him. See you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.